Hello, everyone. It's Graham Cope with another My Music. Today, I'm going to be talking to Silvi. But first of all, we have to have a little bit of this.
I need to get going, Mel. See you later.
He can't believe it either. I don't know what it is that he can't believe, but he certainly can't believe it. Silvi, thanks for joining me. I know that you've not been very well recently, so, even more glad that you've actually managed to make it today. We won't talk about illness or anything like that. Let's talk about music. Now, I happened upon your music on Twitter, which is, let's start with Twitter. Is Twitter a good platform for you?
Yeah, it's the best. It's definitely the best one for me. I've had so much beautiful experiences and interactions on Twitter. So yeah, definitely the best one for me.
I know. As a social media person that spends their life on lots of different platforms, and I spend quite a lot. I've got a lot of clients who are predominant on LinkedIn. That's right. LinkedIn, for those that are watching on LinkedIn. So many of them go, oh, but Twitter's horrible. It's a horrible place. There's lots of people being nasty to each other on there. And yes, sure, there's a bit of hate speech sometimes on Twitter, but so is there on every platform. And personally, I just like to say that I find that the music crowd on Twitter are really lovely. Yeah, and that's your experience as well, that there is a group of people who just love music and they're just so happy to talk about music and try and share music and encourage on Twitter.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. There is people who are just out to be nasty, but as you say, that you get that everywhere. And Twitter has its fair share, and I've been subject to that a fair few times. But it's massively outweighed by the immense support that you get. Like it's outweighed the amount of people I actually know in real life now that support my music. So at first it was just a few here and there on social media, but now it's literally like Twitter is the biggest place for me to really express myself about music or, find new music and stuff as well. I've met so many new friends who are either consumers of music or artists. So it's been absolutely crazy. It's been such a good experience. And I've finally started to actually be able to meet them in person as well since lockdown's finished. So yeah, have you met people in person yet?
I've met a few people in person, yes, in my life. And actually, I've met a few people. Yes, I've met a few people from social media as well. I'd love to see a few more. I don't get out very much. I do go to some. I've started going back to some gigs again now, but obviously, I spend an awful lot of my time because my work allows me to sitting here in four walls. So it's quite difficult. But yeah, I'm hoping to do that a little bit more, especially now my son's come into the business as well. So that would be great.
Perfect.
Now, clearly, people listening to you can pick up that is a Scottish accent. So whereabouts are you from in Scotland?
I'm from a place called West Lothian, which is in the Central Belt, but now I stay in Edinburgh, which is still in the Central Belt, but it's the capital city now. So moving into a little bit more of civilization, as opposed to where I was in West Lothian is a tiny village that was known for kind of like cows to rest on their journey from Edinburgh to Glasgow, because it's sort of in the middle. So
was that a little bit of a culture shock for you, moving from Lothian to there?
Yeah, definitely, because there's a lot more people, there's a lot more things happening, and also like I only had one neighbor in my family home where I grew up, and the rest of it was just like woods. So yeah, now I've literally got neighbors upstairs, downstairs, left, right, across the road, like literally everywhere. And trying to sort of climatize to that when you're used to going to sleep in like pitch black silence is quite strange. Yeah.
Now, this is one of these things where if someone heard you sing, they wouldn't necessarily know you were from that part of Scotland, and they wouldn't necessarily know that you were, coming from that part of the world in terms of your music as well. Because I'd say that your music, owes as much to places like America as it does to the UK. Would you say that's fair enough?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe, because I suppose there's been sort of like hip hop influences and stuff in certain tracks. So yeah, possibly you could be right.
There you go. There you go. What got you into music in the first place?
Mainly just a bit of a sort of, it was weird because I was hyper, but I was also really like shy and introverted as a child, but I had a lot of energy. So my mum thought, let's stick her into some like theatre stuff. So it was mainly theatre that I started with. And then yeah, just from there got a guitar when I was about 14 and still can play it as rubbish as I could when I was 14. But yeah, taught myself guitar and taught myself enough to be able to write a song on it, basically. And yeah, then also write songs on ukulele. So just kind of started doing that, and from there wrote just like hundreds of songs throughout my teens. And then in the lockdown, I decided to release some stuff as Silvi, and it's just kind of ended up transpiring into like gigs and other songs and stuff. But yeah,
And I have to say, I absolutely love your music now, and it's got a real energy to it. And along the way, any inspirations? Anybody that you've kind of looked at, and gone, yeah, that I really love that sound. I really love, what they're doing. I really love that vocalist in terms of their style, etc. That you've really kind of listened and thought, I'm going to have an element of that in there for me.
Yeah, well, my hero is Stevie Wonder, so
Right.
there's a lot of soul influences, especially kind of vocally, but you can't really hear that, I suppose. But undertones of that, and more in more recent years when I've been actually making music, I love an artist called 2 Feet, and I love an artist called Leon, who's like a Swedish singer, Swedish kind of soul pop, and 2 Feet is sort of like bluesy rock, but with more kind of current influences as well, and he's from America. So yeah, those two are like my main two when I'm writing music now, I would say.
And now, are you writing all of this yourself? Are you writing with other people? Are you collaborating at all?
Yeah, I write it all myself, and I'm going to start co-writing with some people, which is really exciting, but I haven't really started yet. But yeah, everything so far has been just my stuff, and then yeah, I'm going to continue to write myself, but I'm looking forward to actually getting other people's perspectives and like other people knowing more chords, because I only know a handful of chords. So yeah.
Well, it hasn't served you badly so far at all. So, and you've got to remember, some of the best songs are fairly simple.
Exactly.
So don't worry. Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about that at all. I mean, in terms of your whole image, you've got you're producing video content as well. You're and you've been picked up by BBC Introducing.
Yeah, they've been brilliant. Yeah, every release so far. So that's been, and do you know what? It's good, but at the same time, when you bring out something new, you're always kind of panicking that it's not going to get picked up, and you think like, is that going to be a step backwards? But yeah, so far they've been really great, and they've always supported me. So yeah, hopefully going to do some more stuff with the BBC as things go as well.
Sorry, there was the dog in the background. I mean, he's a big music fan, can't help it. He gets excited at the mention of anything to do with BBC Introducing.
Or just him going, woo woo.
Yeah, absolutely. Woo woo. Now, you've played a gig as well at King Tut's. Yeah. How did that go?
Yeah. I mean, the King Tut's one was probably the worst one so far, but I've done. Oh God, like I've been kind of non-stop with gigs since about February. So obviously the lockdown and stuff meant that I never did any gigs. But from February this year, I've been nearly I think every single month I've had at least one or two gigs. So yeah, but I've got a headline at King Tut's this month, so that's at the end of this month. So that'll be massive for me because I've never done a headline before. It's always been like a support slot or a festival or something. So yeah, that'll be great. And then a couple of festivals, and then I think I'm going to take the rest of the year off. I think I'm going to be a lady of leisure.
Well, which festivals are you playing?
Okay, some of them are unannounced, so I won't be able to go into those ones. But one of them is on the 3rd of September. That's Vibrations Festival. Oh God, sorry, my mind's went blank. I've got like four. I think I've got 5 other gigs, and then I think I'm going to call it a day for this year.
Yeah.
One in Hull on the 1st of October. It's the Indie All Dayer with Our Sound.
Is there a website where people can see where all of these gigs are?
There should be, but there's not. No.
Oh.
I'll do one. I'll make one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, make sure that happens. You know,
Yeah.
if you ever need social media team, you know where to come. All right, that I'm
Thank
just
you.
putting that out there now. What
Thank you.
about video? I mean, are you aiming to make more videos for each of your songs?
I've not actually made any videos yet.
Oh, you haven't made
I'm
a
hoping
video?
to. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
all my own. I do all my own like photography stuff. And I make like stupid videos, but I've not actually made music videos yet. So I'm going to try do that hopefully this year. Fingers crossed. I've got like a really cool videographer guy who would like to make a video with me. So it's just really trying to get the time and the concept and stuff right, because I want to make sure that it's like a good one. I don't want to just put out anything, especially because it'll be the first one. I want to make sure that I'm kind of putting my best foot forward. So yeah, hopefully within the end of the year that can be something that I can have out.
Brilliant.
But I would like to be quite involved with it. I'd like to kind of direct it as well. So obviously have someone there who knows what they're actually doing. But I'd like to have quite a lot of involvement in the creative process, because visually I like
Oh,
that.
it's so important. It's so important. Well,
Yeah.
you know, my son does video as well. He's
Right.
a filmmaker. He's won awards. So if you know,
Oh,
if you need to film anything down in the southwest,
okay.
you know, maybe standing on the beach with the waves lapping or whatever, you know, more than welcome.
Oh, thank you so much.
Come on down, and we'll make you very welcome indeed.
Thank
So
you.
what's the ambition, Silvi?
Oh God, world domination. No, I'm kidding. I think I would like to make enough money from music to be able to make it a career. I don't think I want to be like, that I can't leave the house or anything, but I would love to be able to make a sustainable enough income with music that I could sort of do it full time, because right now I'm doing like a full-time job and basically full-time music, and it's quite taxing on your physical and mental health. So I mean, look at the state of me, but no, I've had food poisoning, just for anyone who's like, what? But yeah, like, I don't know, I think I would like to tour. I think I would like to get some song. I would love to have like a song in a film or something like that, and just kind of, yeah, just make enough to be able to do something creative for my job.
Yeah. If you could work with anybody, I ask this of everybody, by the way, if you could work with anybody, alive or dead, who would it be?
Oh God. Probably. Oh. I think I would like to work with Mark Ronson.
Ah. Why is that?
I think I would like to have that collaboration of like, hopefully contributing to the lyrics, but he makes this absolute banger of a tune, and then I get to sing on it and write the lyrics. I think that would be really cool, and his tunes are always a hit, so make like an absolute like generational classic.
Well, I shall tag some other people in when this goes out to see if we can make that happen. All right.
Jesus. Okay. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. No problem at all. No sweat at all. Because my friend Troy, who's a drummer, he works alongside Mark Ronson from time to time.
Oh my God.
So we'll just see whether we can make that happen, and that would be great. Yeah.
Thank you.
That would be a kind of soul-y feel, but
Yeah, well, yeah, he worked with one of my favorite artists, Yeba, and they made such a cool song. I don't know if you've heard it. It's called "Don't Leave Me Lonely," and it's based on one of her more soulful songs. But then he's completely transformed it into this absolute like banger. So
there you go. There you go. You see, we could make your dreams come true right here on My Music. So that would be fantastic. And in terms of inspiration, you were saying about some of the people that you've listened to. Stevie Wonder, that's an absolute great one. Did any of your inspiration come from friends or family growing up in terms of music, or was anyone else in the house musical?
Yeah, no one in my family is musical, as in like playing or well, my mum is an amazing singer, but she's never sung professionally. But yeah, she's a great vocalist. And yeah, it's just mainly my mum's music taste. My mum loves soul music, so when I was growing up, I was brought up on soul music. It was mainly kind of like mixtapes, so we would put like a cassette in the car and we would listen to that. So a lot of the time I'll know the song and I'll know all the words, but I maybe won't know who it's by because like it would just come on the tape and I wouldn't know because it wasn't an album or anything. So yeah, I've got quite a vast experience with soul music, but I just sometimes don't know the names of it.
Were you a family that sang together?
Yeah, my mum and I would, we would literally sing doing everything. Something really funny was that because it was just my mum and I in the house, like I'm an only child, my mum, when I was in the bath, she would get me to sing so that she knew that like I was still alive. So
she wasn't there. She wasn't there. So she was next door doing something. She was busy or putting stuff away or whatever, and she'd say, like, keep singing.
Exactly. So she had to go get my towel, or she had to go get something or get the door or something. She'd be like, just sing. And then also that also translated into when I was in bed, I was always scared that something bad was happening to her down the stairs. So I would get her to sing until I fell asleep. So yeah. Bit traumatic, but
no, I love that. I love that as a story. I mean, and it happened, it happens in this house here, and we're sort of in the kitchen preparing food or whatever, and we'll put some music on and we're just like jam over the top of it. Do you find yourself doing that? Yeah, you find yourself doing that, just like listening to music, and you'll make up words to that song and make a different song out of that song and take it somewhere. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, taking the biscuit sometimes with the new edits of the words.
Yeah, it's fun, but look, it's really good for the soul as well to sing together. I think it's really important. You mentioned mental health earlier. I think not enough people sing these days. I go to too many houses where everybody's silent, and you think, well, you know what? Best thing you can do, all sing together. Really, really, really helps. So no, absolutely.
Good medicine.
Yeah. Do you plan then, if you're going to do a few more gigs and then you're going to stop, are you then going to focus on an album? Is that what you're going to do? Or
unfortunately, I would love to do that, but I don't have the funding to be able to do an album because I'm self-funded with everything. So I would love to do an album, but I think it'll just be singles for now. Maybe a cheeky wee EP, but yeah, I would, if I could get the funding, then I would do an album. I've got enough songs in the back catalogue, but yeah, it would just be the case of trying to get them all produced.
Now, listen, if there are any record companies watching this, and I know that lots are connected with me on Twitter, what are you doing? You just need to listen to this woman's output. It's fantastic.
All right.
Let's get some funding in there. Let's get an album made. You can only but ask, can't you?
I know.
That's how it works in life. If you ask, then you get. If you don't, it never happens.
I've learned that.
Yeah. But by the way, while you're at it, is that pub that's like in the middle of a set of, near the Travel Lodge in Edinburgh, there's like a pub that's in the middle of a square. Is that still there?
Near the Travel Lodge, there's a
big Travel Lodge, and then over the road from it, anyway. I digress, but it was a lovely opportunity to have a drink.
All right, I'm trying to think. Where is the Travel Lodge?
See, I try and confuse all of my guests by confuddling them with my erstwhile experience of travelling around the great British public, and But there we go, and the castle's still there, of course.
Still intact, as far as I know.
Fantastic.
I've been bedbound for a couple of days though, so who knows? So
when you play live, you have a band, presumably?
Yeah. So I just started playing with a band. They're absolutely amazing. 5-piece. Yeah.
Cool.
2 guitars.
Do you know names? Do you know names to give them a shout?
Yes, of course. So
okay, let's do that.
Okay, right. I've got Emily Mowat on drums, Charlie Reid on bass, Connor McClelland on guitar, Millie Donachie on other guitar, and Ellis James Wright on keys.
Oh, fantastic! And where did you meet all of those? Up in Edinburgh, hanging around on the street corner, or
Yeah, all of the above. It's all different. So they're all from all over. Some of them are from Ayr, which is like way off from where I am. Some of them are Edinburgh, some of them are Glasgow. And when we originally started practicing, I was still in West Lothian. So we totally just managed to all find time and get to the same place. But yeah, we've really gelled, and a lot of people have commented on how tight they are as a band, and I totally agree. I think they're all great musicians in their own right. So it really works. And yeah, like a few of the I'll tell you one story which was quite funny. Millie, the guitarist, I wasn't gonna, because she couldn't drive when she sort of applied originally, I was like, oh, like, I think that's going to be quite difficult because she's in Edinburgh and she can't drive, and I'm in West Lothian still. So I didn't. So I said to her, like, I would really love to have you on board, but I'm not sure. Like, I'll need to get back to you. And then I met her at a concert, and she's just kind of like, so when am I starting playing guitar for you? She just kind of walked in, and then I was like, oh, she's actually really good. And ever since, so yeah, I always joke about that with her. I'm like, you finessed your way into this.
That is the way. Again, we've proved it twice in the same interview. If you don't get, you don't. If you don't ask, you don't get. Yeah, it's absolutely important. It's really important. And that's the only way to get on in life.
Yeah, no, she honestly, she got that for herself. She wanted it, she saw it, and she took it. So I'm very proud of her because she's brilliant. Couldn't imagine the band without her now. So.
Oh, now listen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you this afternoon. This will go out soon. So,
okay.
Once I've edited it and everything like that, this will go out. But yeah, in terms of where people can get hold of your music, where's the best place to go?
Everything is at Silvi Sounds. So SILVI Sounds. And that's, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. Spotify, hopefully you can just go to one of my social medias and then get on Spotify, because I'm not too popular yet. Sometimes it doesn't always come up if you've never like searched me or anyone that's linked with me before. So
that's dreadful. Well, we'll make sure when we share that we put a link in there so that people can find it. All right, that people can hear the music, because after this little conversation this afternoon, people will be enraptured by the whole essence of your music, and will want to go and find out a little bit more. Because trust me, this lady, next time I speak to her, she won't probably speak to me next time because she will be so big and so huge. And when she's up there, on the support for Beyonce or whoever, I won't be able to get a look in. But that's where you're heading, right?
Oh, that's so nice. So it's not true, but so nice.
No, believe it, and it may well come true. Okay, you've got to believe these things, and it may well come true. I think you're incredibly talented, very gifted, and I think your music's absolutely superb. You've got a really good ear for pop song, which is great, and that's actually really quite difficult to write a really decent pop song. But you've got it with class. I mean, I'm not talking, shut up in your face or Joel Dolce or anything like that. I'm talking a proper, decent, soulful pop song, which you've got an absolute ear for.
Thank you.
As I say, thank you so much for joining me today. I'll leave you with one more question, which is, if you could learn any other instrument, what would it be?
Oh God, keyboard or organ or something. Yeah.
Me too. I mean, I've learnt guitar.
Right.
I can do a bit of bass, I can do a bit of guitar, but keyboard, I'd always wish I had those piano lessons now.
I know. It's just perfect instrument. So versatile.
Yeah, and what a wonderful sound as well. Well, maybe one day you'll get to learn piano as well. That would be fantastic. Until then, thanks for coming on and talking about your music today, Silvi. Do go and check Silvi's music out. And if you are a record company and you're listening, come on, put some money in. It's absolutely worth a punt on this occasion. And you never know. We might see you on a bit of vinyl one day. That would be great, wouldn't it? In a record shop somewhere.
Thank you so much. This has been so lovely. Thank you so much for having me. And you've totally blew smoke up my bum. So thanks.
There you go. There you go. Have a great rest of the day. And I'll catch you soon. Okay.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Take
Bye.
care.